Hello, friends. We're back for another one, another powerful self love transmission. If you are listening in for the first time, my name is Renee Love, and I am the CEO and founder of Modern Day Wise Woman, which is an online self love coaching practice and private school. And here, wherever you're listening to this, we talk about all things self love, energy medicine, spirituality, holistic health. Essentially, I put that all under an umbrella called holistic self-love. Today, I want to talk to you about the abandonment wound. And the reason I want to talk to you about it is because it is something that I see over and over and over again in my practice. It is something that I get a lot of questions on, and it's something that I also personally, in my own self-love journey, needed to work through. Let's briefly just go into, what is the abandonment wound? And so, for many of us who our soul's path involved us at a young age, right? So under, let's say, the age of 15, had someone in our lives, particularly a parental figure, okay, leave us. Whether it be that the person died or it be something like a separation happened, a divorce happened, and so you had a parent that left, okay, and it changed your home environment. For some of you, it may be the experience of being adopted out, okay, or it could be ending up in Child Protective Services or CAS. Essentially, it is that a primary caregiver figure, a parental figure that was in your life, left your life, or they were never in your life, and growing up, you felt that missing of that person, that parent. As little kids, right, we expect to have a mommy and a daddy. We expect to have these two parents, or at least two parents that are there for us, that love us, that are supposed to nurture us. And we see this represented everywhere, right? In movies and television programs and children's literature, books. We go to school with kids and we see kids that have their two parents. And so when we don't have that, it creates for us that something is wrong, something is missing, someone has left us. Where is your daddy? Where is your mommy? Kids will often say to you. Mother's Day, Father's Day. You might have wondered to yourself, why isn't my dad here? Or why isn't my mom here? Why are they not here anymore? What happened to this relationship? Now, here's the other thing I want to say. Sometimes the parent is still in the home. Sometimes it's that, they were still in the house, living with you, but they never interacted with you. Like you would bring things home from school and they wouldn't even really acknowledge it, or it was never good enough. Or you wanted to play, or you wanted to interact with them, or you wanted to talk to them, but they were never really emotionally available, So that relationship that you wanted it to be loving, you wanted it to be something that felt really good. Like, it wasn't that at all. And so in that regard, you would feel abandoned too. Or like a parent that never came to anything that was important to you, or just doesn't even know who you are really or what's important to you. That creates abandonment as well. So I've gone into like some different scenarios and examples of, how the child abandonment wound gets created. Now, what we have to acknowledge and what we have to talk about is what happens when that wound gets created. And this is the pattern here, okay, that I'm talking about. If you're taking notes, you want to definitely take some notes starting now. The thing to understand, and I'm even getting choked up as I say this because this happened to me for so long. The thing to understand is that when you are abandoned, or when you experience being abandoned as a child or as a teenager, whatever, you think that you did something wrong. Your questions often are, as a small kid or a teenager, why doesn't this person want to see me? Why doesn't this person love me? Why don't they care? And when you're a kid, you don't have the understanding, you don't have the education, you don't have the consciousness yet to be able to understand that an adult leaving you or not being there for you or not being available for you has nothing to do with you, and it's about them and their stuff and how they feel. You think to yourself that them not loving you or showing you the love that you need and deserve is somehow connected to you. You'll often see little kids say, maybe if I draw them a picture, daddy or mommy would come back. Maybe if I wasn't so bad, mommy and daddy would come back. Maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that. You can see kids, okay, when you look at interviews with kids who have felt abandoned, you can see them trying to figure out if they could just be more good. If they could just be good, maybe this person would come back. And therein, right there, is the thinking that we take all the way with us into adulthood, into all kinds of relationships. You can see how what this creates for a lot of us is, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, something's wrong with me, and I have to do more in order to be loved. Like, I have to figure out what to do and do it in order to be loved. So now you get into these relationships, right? And you may get into relationships where, someone may not be treating you the way you deserve to be treated or want to be treated or whatever. And then you think to yourself, maybe I could do more of this. Maybe I should be kinder. Maybe I should cook more or clean more or do this or do that, This is where the circus clown acrobatics start to come in. Because now you're trying to figure out how you can be so good. How you can be so good for them. How you can be everything you think they want you to be. Whatever it is, how can you do that just so you can get them to love you? Just so you can get them to see you? Just so you can get them to choose you? Just so you can get them to pick you? And you got to sit with that, because the thing about it is sometimes the way they're treating you, in fact, a lot of times, has nothing to do with you. Occasionally, you might meet some people that are manipulators and users, and they prey upon your vulnerability, your soft heart, your need to people please or be nice or whatever that is, right? Your low self-worth. But sometimes it's not even about you. Sometimes it's just like a person is going through something, or they've had a change of heart, or they're just occupied with certain things, or whatever is happening. It's not about you or you not being enough or any of those things, but here you are acting like somebody that is insecure, doesn't know your worth, doesn't know your value. Maybe now you're becoming anxious. Maybe you're becoming anxious, preoccupied. Now you're getting clingy, you're getting needy. Like, you are diminishing yourself and disrespecting yourself and like doing all this stuff that, quite honestly, is not healthy for you and not attractive. It's not self-loving. It is you coming from a place of lack and insecurity and actually creating the rhythm and dynamic for someone to mistreat you, for someone to discard you because you don't know your value. How the hell are they supposed to know it? So you got to check yourself and really start to think about, sometimes when you are acting and doing certain things, like, what is actually going on here? Because anytime you're acting from a place of fear of losing someone, fear of not being good enough, fear of you did something wrong, fear, attachment, all of this stuff, by the way, that is not love. That is not love for you. That is not love for the other person. That is not love. We think it is. We, because of the way our society is and the way they depict things in media and all of the dysfunctional relationships and, messed up stuff that have been going on in our families, a lot of us don't even know what love is and how healthy love is supposed to feel. We have all these toxic representations and expectations and views and past about what love is. Oh, you're supposed to feel distressed all the time and crazy and anxious and worried and not sure where you stand and playing all these games. That's not love. That's the absence of it. When love is healthy, y'all, we're looking for something that's secure. And that doesn't mean that it's always secure, because we're human, we're working on our stuff, we're doing our inner work. We are healing. Many of us are healing from years and decades of past trauma, from past relationships where we were treated like, trash again because we did not know our value or our worth or whatever. So it's going to pop up sometimes, the inner child. It's going to pop up sometimes, some of these triggers or these old wounds. But the value of listening to something like this and to doing the classes that I have here, and y'all, I have a lot of online classes that are going to be coming too, which is going to be so awesome and so great. So definitely look out for these. But the value of doing this work is that you really get to identify when these things are at play so that you can act in alignment with your true, authentic self and not the foolishness, okay, that gets us used or manipulated or has us treat our partner disrespectfully and awfully when they haven't done anything to us. Okay? It's our stuff. So you got to identify the abandonment wound. You got to see it when you see it. You got to know it when you know it. You got to feel it when you feel it. You know what I mean? And that is the lesson for today. I got these people on the next side of me doing construction, and they just started up again after I told them I was doing this, but it's perfect. I feel like we got the message in. Y'all, that is the message for today. Be clear about this abandonment wound if you have it, what it looks like, understand how it works and what it has you do so that you can get ahead of it and not act from that wounded place, but from that healthy, self-loving place. Know your worth, understand your value, and don't internalize something that is happening, okay, because of something outside of yourself. Furthermore, if you are interacting with someone who is intentionally, willfully, you believe, or consciously, or even if it's unconsciously, being dishonoring of you and who you are, have that conversation. If it's irreparable, as in that person is not in a place where they can treat you with honor, love, kindness, and respect, then that leaves you with a decision, okay, a choice you need to make. But do not come from that wounded child, okay? Let's move in self-love. Thank you all for being here. If you enjoy this, don't forget to leave a review, thumbs up it, like it, share it, all of that. And wherever you are listening to this, show me some love. Let me know what you learned in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Signing out.